Borderlands is replayable for me in the sense that there's multiple characters to choose from, and those characters have different abilities, and they work different mechanics, and they work differently, and your gameplay is different. What I'm talking about is like when you're using the same character going through, and especially if you've hit max level, or you've at least gotten all the abilities you're interested in, and then there's no, to me, there's no reason to continue playing. I know there's people who've played Borderlands 2 for thousands of hours and have gotten enjoyment out of every one of them, and that's great. It's just not me. That's not to say, though, that I won't pick up Borderlands 2 and play it from scratch on a number of, very frequently with a new character, trying something different. I guess I didn't need to get off. But I usually don't go very far into the New Game Plus mode, whatever it's called. Like I said, I just don't find it appealing content. But yeah, talking about the Tomb Raider series. So, I got it when it first came out on Xbox 360. Played it, finished it. Then, I think it came to PlayStation Plus, maybe? Or no, I think it came to PlayStation Plus for the PS4 before I actually had a PS4. But the cool thing about PlayStation Plus is you could add the games to your library even if you didn't have that console. So when I finally got a PS4, I had like a ton of PS4 games in my PlayStation Plus library to start off with, which was nice. But anyway, in some order, I finished it on the 360, I finished it on the Xbox One, I finished it on the PlayStation 4. I don't recall if I played it on the PlayStation 3 or not. And enjoyed every minute of every playthrough. And I've done playthroughs bow only, which is probably what I'll do with the first game when I play this time. Bow only is a lot of fun. Hard mode, easy mode, obviously.
You want the best moonshine? This is the place to look.
But yeah, so I'll definitely be playing those at some point on here. And there's other games that are going to be coming out that I want to see play, I'm sure. Where am I going? This way. Just as sort of an idea of where the channel's headed, what you have to look forward to if you choose to stick around, or to not look forward to. I guess it's not a given that you're going to like everything that I play. Hopefully,
why would I pay to go to the game when I can watch it on TV for free?
Hopefully you will enjoy me playing it and my reaction to it, even if it's not really your cup of tea of games. And if you don't, that's fine.
Perfect timing.
You're here to be
I was
entertained.
Just about to have lunch.
If I'm not entertained,
How'd it go?
Fast cars and
find someone who is.
Was not to like.
That's not.
Word
I don't
coming
mean
down is that some motherfuckers might try to hit you. So watch your ass.
Yes, ma'am.
Guess who I saw coming out of the market yesterday? Denny McGill.
No shit, Denny McGill? I haven't heard that name in years.
Fucker's married. 4 kids. Oldest Rachel is 6.
Damn. Can you imagine having 4 kids right now?
Not without there being some kind of ransom involved. Every time I run into folks like him, they start asking me when I'm settling down, when I'm gonna have a family. It always makes me feel like I don't belong. Like there's something wrong with me.
Ain't nothing wrong with you. Hell, look at me. Never knew my parents, don't know a damn thing about who I am or where I came from. That hadn't stopped the world from deciding for me. Keeps finding people who don't give a fuck about any of that. Like when you and me are kicking back, shooting the shit. We just cool.
Well, I'm cool. You, on the other hand, are a pretty big fucking dork.
A dork? What are you, 12?
Well, shit. Those were the days. I could get shit-faced at night and still ace a math test the next day. Listen, Lincoln, never mind. It can wait.
Don't worry about what Denny McGill thinks. Fuck him.
Yeah. Fuck 'em. Be careful out there. Danny fancied himself a race car driver, and he was damn good at it, too. But he hated these runs. Thought they were a giant bore. He took care of that problem by setting up races between the Moonshine pickups and drop-offs. Stupid bastard always had to make things harder than they needed to be. Guess that's what they really mean by the luck of the Irish.
Sorry, I was talking for a minute over there. I just wanted to clarify. I'm not telling people, hey, if you don't like it, go away. What I'm saying is, I understand that your time is valuable as well, and if you're spending time and you want to be entertained, and the game I'm playing, or even I am not entertaining to you, then you should find someone who is and spend your time wisely. Or at least wisely kind of seems a weird word to say, entertainment, but get as much as you can from the time that you're spending on entertainment. Well, let's see what else she has to say.
Not sure the devil himself would have been a worse father than my own, but I couldn't leave him. How fucked up is that? After everything he's done and not done, and I'm still bonded to the son of a bitch. Our moonshine-loving Bayou brothers are ready for you to get down there and pick up the next load. Just maybe go light on sampling the product. Never turned out well for me. Some dipshit from Ohio asked me what the legal drinking age was here in New Bordeaux. But by the time I got done laughing, he was already gone.
Apparently, that means it's really low, or maybe they just don't worry about things like drinking age. Alright, let's see here. I'm considering doing these side missions, and the reason is if you look at assets. Wait, is that my one? Oh, no, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I actually have to look at the weapons. I'm pretty sure some of the weapons are unlocked by completing side missions. Oh, okay, we'll just run right past that ladder. Can we go down the ladder? Is that a possibility? Where am I going?
Whiskey everywhere. Not a drop to drink.
Alright.
Maybe a drop.
Let's call this guy.
I need resupply and point for done.
Be out directly.
Okay, so
See anything you need?
well, I haven't looked yet.
Show me what you got.
I'll be.
Alright, so firearms. We'll just look at all. So that one costs money, that one costs money, that one costs money. That one costs money. Like this, available as a favor from Cassandra. Now, what does that mean? Okay, I got that. Raise her earn. Yep. Okay. Oh, sorry, I went too far back. Handguns. So there's a better, the Silenced Deacon, available as a favor from Burke. Available as a favor from Vito, but I don't know what these favors are. Like, what constitutes a favor? I mean, is it going to come up one day? Like, so and so requests a favor from, and then I'll know. I don't know. There seems to be anything that's got a silence wrong. You have to do a favor. Silenced M198, available as a favor from Cassandra. Okay. Again, what is that? Now this makes sense. I'll complete all story missions in a faster rate. Okay, it's easy now. It's a favor. So I don't know. Maybe favors is a mechanic I haven't gotten to yet. And then these are ridiculous guns. Bounty hunting missions, I have not even begun to be told about those. So, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to go take a quick restroom break. I'll be right back. So yeah, I just wanted to look at those. I don't think I'm going to buy anything necessarily. But I did want to look at the options. Is there something new? Is that what that? I guess that's new. Still can't do these.
This is done. You know how to find me.
So,
This city's gone.
yeah, let's do these real quick. Well, I am under the impression that since they're so far away. Oh.
Fast.
Before I forget.
Send someone to Point Verdun to pick up my cash.
Be
I
there
got way too much money to lose. Because you get dialogue after the side missions there. Or did you decide to go in there? Okay. I feel like there may be a... What the... Oh. Wait, what?
What can I
Now
take
you're
off
outside.
your hands?
Oh, goodness. I feel like there may actually be a finite number of those Moonshine missions, etc.
Keep this safe.
On my way. Call me if
because
you need me.
I mean the dialogue is obviously not inexhaustible.
Shit. If the gun gets any more, Mickey, they're gonna have to paint it green.
Let's get a car.
I'm in Point Verdun and I need a new set of wheels.
On it, lad. Just getting her warmed up.
Irish seem to be back in force in the morning.
Gonna wait on him to drive it over here. Guess he wasn't very close at the time.
Style house doesn't mean I want any guns in it.
Here's your car, boss.
Appreciate it.
Think I might.
I also like being called boss. Very respectful of him. Yeah, so we'll do some of these and see if I'm right about them having a finite number. Hang on. Oh, just quit your honking. So I'm curious if you're in chat or watching this on YouTube. What's your favorite video game genre or your favorite video game title? Or it could be a series. Or I mean, obviously, if you have more than one, you can list several. It's fine. Or for that matter, what types of games do you not like playing? Like, you will never find me playing a multiplayer online shooter or anything like that. I don't enjoy multiplayer. I just, period. I just don't enjoy it. I've tried playing different games in multiplayer, and it's never been the thing for me. Now, there's games that are multiplayer that have a single player component that I like. That you can play single player. But like, I'm never going to be a Call of Duty multiplayer person. I'm never Fortnite, like Overwatch. And it's just not what I enjoy. You probably won't ever see me playing sports games on here. I used to enjoy sports games, but I used to enjoy baseball games. But I was big into baseball when I was younger. Like, I even, well, fact about me, I went to a professional baseball umpiring academy to attempt to get into professional umpiring at the minor league level. You have to make your way up just like a player does. And while I didn't make it, obviously, I still learned a lot about the game. I learned a lot about the rules, especially. And I did use that knowledge to do some Little League. It's fun. Just sort of on the side, some extra money. But that gave me such an intimate knowledge of the game. I used to read I know I'm kind of everywhere. I also used to read a lot of books about baseball. Some books like about historic teams, but a lot of books about strategy, things like that. like one of my favorite books that I've read, I can't tell you how many times, is called Men at Work by George Will, the political commentator. And it's just a really interesting book. He talks to 4 different baseball people, a manager, a general manager, a pitcher, and a hitter. Or a fielder. Sorry, a fielder. I guess a hitter too, but it was fielding, I think, we most talked about. And, is that right? It's been so long since I read. I love the book. It's been a long time since I read it. Anyway, point is, they talk a lot about strategy. Like, the manager was Tony La Russa, which, at the time, he was the manager of the Oakland A's. Also, he went on to coach manage the St. Louis Cardinals. But at the time, he was with the Oakland A's. And he talked about, like, how to set up a lineup. Like, things he thought about for his leadoff hitter and his number 3 hitter, things like that. And so, I would want to incorporate those things into my baseball game play. My video game. And so I would buy baseball games that were more simulation. I couldn't get into RBI baseball and things where it was just an arcade game, essentially. I liked things that were much more... I guess the word is realistic. It's not really the word I want, but games that had much more strategy involved. Let's just put it that way. Not necessarily to play. I don't really like playing them. I like managing. But for example, one thing that I don't think if I ever found a game that did this. So if you know baseball, you know this. But for those of you who don't, I'll just give you a little information, a little inside information. It's not really inside information, but if you don't know the game, it may not be obvious. So if they've got a runner on base, particularly a runner on first, the third base coach will do a series of signs, hand signals, where he touches different parts of his body or with left and right arm maybe, and those mean something, or they don't mean something. And what I mean by that is sometimes they can just be done to make the other team think that something's on when really nothing's on. Okay, so there is a signal for steal. But it's not steal. It's not an order to steal. It's actually permission to steal. Now, there is a signal that's an order to steal, but that's probably going to be part of a hit and run, which is a different tactic altogether, a different sign altogether. So, you might have a really fast runner. A Kenny Lofton, for example, to go back to when I was really into baseball, who can steal bases like mad, but he's a really good base stealer. A really good base stealer does not mean he's super fast. It's good to be fast. Obviously, the faster you can get from first to second, the less likely you are to be thrown out. But there's a lot more to it than that. There's the ability to get a good jump. There's the ability which involves reading the pitcher, and if the pitcher's going to be coming to first or not, and having a really good idea of how the pitcher pitches, so you can steal on an off-speed pitch, a curveball or a changeup, and not a fastball, because the pitch is going to take longer to get there. It gives you more time to steal the base, right? But ultimately, it's about the jump. How far away from the base were you when you decided to steal? So, how big a lead did you have? And, how well were you able to determine the pitcher's intent that he was actually going to throw a pitch and not toss over to first? That sort of thing. And then how well you could predict what pitch was coming. So there are plenty of times where the best base stealer in the game will be given permission to steal, but won't steal because they didn't get a good jump, or they couldn't tell if the pitcher was going to throw over, had a pickoff move. Which is fine because it's permission. I don't know of a single managerial style baseball game, except maybe some of the more text only games, because I haven't really played a lot of those, but I don't even think those, where the steal signal or the steal command is permission. That the AI doesn't just steal because you said steal, they steal because they got the good jump, they had the ghost, they had the permission to steal, and everything kind of came together. The reason I bring that up is because if you're playing as a manager, or you're manage only, as like I said, I tend to do,
We'll do him before he tries to do us.
you want to be able to say, okay, you know, I'm going to have the batter take this pitch, unless it's like a fastball right down the middle, so that you have the opportunity to steal. But the opportunity to steal is not a command to steal. You've got to trust your base runner. If your base runner is like, I know I had permission, but I just didn't get a good read on the pitcher, I didn't get a good jump, I didn't think I was going to make it, you have to respect that. And that's way better than him saying, well, you told me to steal, so even though I didn't get a good jump,
Bottom of that shit.
I stole. Which is what, as far as I know, every single game did. Was it acted like the strategy is not permission to steal, the strategy is steal. So what that does is that puts the onus on you as the manager to make all those decisions for the base runner, which then makes base runners essentially all the same aside from their speed.
Gonna bury ya.
And that's just not true. If you watch a real baseball game, there are guys who are great base stealers. They don't steal a lot, but they're able to steal in very crucial situations because they understand like what the pitcher's doing. They can predict when a good pitch to steal is coming, and also the fact that they're not, you know, super fast. They don't hold them as close, or as you know, they don't worry about them as much. You can't simulate that in any baseball game that I've ever played. Because what will happen is you will tell the guy who's a good base stealer but not super fast, steal. And then he will go regardless. He'll go on a fastball, he'll go, like, he doesn't use any sort of his baseball acumen, instinct, to determine if he can make it or not. And that's especially frustrating for me because I always wanted to play teams that were fast and steal bases. Because I just think that's a more interesting brand of baseball than the 3-run homer. I mean, a 3-run homer every once in a while is nice, but if you've got guys that can steal bases, you can score in a lot more ways than a home run. But it would get frustrating because, again, you would tell your best base stealer, okay, you steal, and he would get thrown out because it was the absolute worst time to steal. Like, the pitcher pitched out, they were throwing a fastball, he got a bad jump, etc., but he's still going to go because you told him to steal. And that's just not how the game works, the real game works. And similarly, and I'm sorry if this is boring you, but I'm just trying to fill the time for the driving time. The bunt mechanic. I can't tell you how many times I would tell a guy to lay down a bunt, and it's as if the AI turned off. Because all of a sudden, lay down a bunt means no matter where the pitch is, bunt at it. And so you get a pitch out, And the guy's bunting at the pitch out. And now pitch out, which is a automatic ball,